Hello and welcome to Dream Team Coach TV. I'm Sean Burke. Joining me is Andy Taylor, Jack Townsend, and Rasputin, Tottenham's greatest love machine. It's Graham Marshall.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I was out and about on Spotify, just gave me that one for free.
Boney M hooking you up.
Yeah, thank you, Tony M. Thank you, Spotify. The mystery word game is still going, so if you want to play along and you don't want to know what it is, look away now. Okay.
It's just a joy to be free of it this week. Like, I'm like,
Ooh, does that mean you still got it, Graz?
does it? Sounds like Andy's got it then. Well, I mean, it's winner stays on, so I didn't win. So it's definitely not me, is what I'm saying.
Andy, you better be throwing straight darts today. I'm not up for any of your
When have you known me not to throw straight darts?
Well, that wasn't a direct answer to that.
a lot of times.
That wasn't a direct answer.
No.
The news broke earlier this week that Man City have successfully appealed their 2-year European football ban and had their fine reduced to a mere £10 million. That's only half Pep's annual sweater budget. I mean, what's the point of financial fair play if you can just pay your lawyers to undo it?
I mean, it's a good question. Yeah. I don't think
they've just
really got the answer.
a lot of talk were just saying UEFA is a joke, as usual. Like, what's the point of this? And like, basically, it's their financial what is it called? Their financial body, CFCB. People saying like, what's the point? Like, if you can just undo it. I mean, what does this say to a smaller club? Like, Wolves were still in the Championship when they saw this happen. What would you say, Andy?
Well, no, it's just proof that the system is in place to kind of maintain the status of the bigger clubs. That's pure and simple. You know, City have taken advantage of it in so many ways since its introduction. Anyway, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were kind of pretty much the reasoning why FFP was brought in, because the sheer volume of money. I suppose Chelsea probably definitely helped with that as well. UEFA were never going to win against City's numerous lawyers that, you know, are probably the best in the game at what they do.
Yeah.
I think what's annoyed me the most is that they're still saying they were guilty. It's just like, you're not as guilty.
Main things that this fell through and they got away with it is because it's happened too long ago.
Yeah.
It's happened over. They say because it passed the 5-year threshold that they can't. The evidence is almost void. But you've got to think, why did it take so long to get that investigation underway? And you've got to think, are they actually helping them out by saying, oh, we'll accuse you, leave it for ages, and then we can't prove anything? It's
To put
mad,
things into
isn't it?
perspective, I believe Nottingham Forest, Millwall, Blackburn, and QPR, and I think there's probably more clubs, have all had transfer embargoes because of FFP. Clubs that haven't, PSG, Man City. So
You've got to say it's the FFP's in place to protect the big clubs, so no one catches up with them.
yeah, they
That's
don't
the
want
whole
Blackburn
point, isn't
in the
it?
league. They don't want Leicester winning the league.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's you know, everyone's sort of saying FFP isn't working, right? Like that's the big takeaway from this. It is totally fit for purpose if you think that it's, like you say, maintaining the status quo, keeping those big boys who are already on top as the elite of football.
Well, I just find it hilarious when, like, you're trying to say that we're being legit financially, and then you just look at the players they're buying and like the wages they're paying. It's like, you're paying like 6 players £250,000 a week. Like, where are you getting that from? Like, it's not from your fan base because you don't have any. Simple as that. Like, United, 100% agree. United have got the commercial deals. They've got the fan bases in all the different countries all over the world, and so have Liverpool. City just don't, and this takes nothing away from their actual individual players.
No,
You know, De Bruyne, Aguero, David Silva, Jesus, they're all brilliant players to watch, but this is not the point.
No, I think that you've hit the nail on the head there about the only positive to take from all of this, if there is any positive, is that if, you know, they had been banned for 2 seasons in the Champions League, that definitely sees the breakup of that team that Pep's assembled. That definitely sees them not try and start this potential rebuild that they're looking at with players like, you know, Silva moving on this season, Company last season. Like, that spine of their squad is getting older. Aguero, injuries. Like, I want to see what happens with that squad. It wouldn't have happened if they were banned. That's the only positive you can take from it, is a pure footballing one, that you want to see that team be as good as they were, you know, the last couple of seasons.
Did you see the photo of Pep and the lads having a celebratory
Yeah.
photo?
Was that
Seems a bit
like
odd.
about it? Was that like actually? Because I saw that photo completely out of context. Was that genuinely to do with the decision?
I thought it came out today, and I'd seen it everywhere. It was on our Instagram page. But if that's in response to it,
It's a bit weird.
yeah, I mean, you are still guilty.
Imagine like coming out of a court case and being like, "Hey!"
Yeah.
Sell
Well, mate, I
these
mean,
lads.
imagine like, crimes are much worse than that as well.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I've just gone beating someone up, and it's like, yeah, but sorry, lads, it happened in 2014, and also you've hacked into my camera roll to see footage of me doing it. So, and actually, you have done it. You've just not beaten him up as much as we said. So we're just gonna, just reduce that fine.
What it does do though is totally change the face of the league now, because a lot of clubs would have been thinking that fifth was well on for the Champions League places, and I mean like that race has got so much more interesting over the last couple of weeks anyway, with Leicester and Chelsea having a few weird results. Now, who is going to be that top four place?
That's right. Well, you've led me on to the next talking point, Graz, very nicely there.
Expertly
Although
done, Graz.
The title has been decided. The race for the top four is closer than ever. Only 6 points separate third and seventh place, with both Leicester and Chelsea losing last weekend, Man United drawing, while both Spurs and Arsenal have decided to take a gap year and go find themselves. So good for them. But, I mean, so much has changed since lockdown. Like Leicester in particular, it was looking so good for them. They were 8 or 9 points ahead of Man United.
They've only won 4 games this year. This calendar year, they've only won 4 games. It's madness.
I think it is a point to make that we all thought that Leicester would come back a bit stronger after the break, but like they were struggling a little bit in sort of January, February before the lockdown happened, before football stopped.
Yeah, they were flagging a bit, and yeah, you would think they'd used that time to kind of recuperate and come back stronger, but evidently not.
Remember, there was a point where Leicester were being considered as the contenders to challenge Liverpool.
Absolutely,
like, there was a point where that was entering conversation, and especially for second place. But now, I think you struggle to see how they're going to hang on to top 4.
Don't underestimate when you've got a squad like Leicester, where their team is fairly small, and they've lost Pereira, Chilwell, and Maddison in this running. Like that is huge. That is literally like United losing Fernandes. If United didn't have Fernandes right now, they'd be plummeting down to like 13th from the table. And that's a fact. It's true. That's how influential he's been on that side. And it's the same with James Maddison. Well, James Maddison, Pereira, and Chilwell and Pereira in particular were providing such width, and it was just great to watch. They had a really fluid system. And now, with all respect, they got James Justin and like Christian. Was it Fuchs? Did he play left back at the weekend?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Fuchs.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's gone from a top 5 fullbacks to mid-table championship, really, isn't it? Which is why, again, the status quo is also brought into question, because we've got the whole 5 subs thing where United, City, Liverpool have got ridiculous money and depth of squad that they can just bring on someone outrageous with 10 minutes to go and it's their 5th sub. Yeah. Whereas, if Wolves are bringing a 5th sub on, it's some lad from the reserves. That's just how it is.
No, I totally agree with you. I think it's strange that we're still like we all those rules were applied because and the drinks break as well, which is basically just the tactics break. I mean, it was it down with rain in some of the games, and they're still stopping for this drinks break that was intended to be there because it was going to be super hot, because it was going to be the summer. And it's like, well, sorry, mate, you didn't count on the British summer, did you?
We have to, while we're on the topic of this top 4 though, we have to talk about Man United's draw with Southampton earlier in the week. And now one thing that kind of surprised me a little bit was, well, I understand they were annoyed, but Man United fans were furious at full time. Like, and they were on such a run of form, right, up until that. And then they have a draw, not a loss, a draw. And literally one of them was like, gutted.
Does that surprise you?
I thought he was joking. But like, the way they were playing earlier on this season, it seemed like Ole was going to be sacked at one point. To get where they are now, I'd be like, right, we've done pretty well, all things considered. And there are still 3 games left.
Surely that is just the expectation of a club like Man United that had such a level of sustained success that even when you're pushing for top 4, having had like quite a bad sort of season by their like historic standards, like that's a bad draw. It's gutting, but it's not the end of your season, is it?
No,
like
no, they're still like 3 games left, and they're right in the thick of it as well, which I wouldn't have predicted, to be honest,
Do you
earlier
know
this
what?
season.
I do feel sorry for United as a club in a sense that they have got the most fans that just watch their games on the periphery, right? So they just go with the wind. When it's going really well, they'll suddenly start watching it on TV. When it isn't going very well, all they're doing is on Twitter saying, Ollie out, or this is a nightmare. The sad thing is that the true hardcore United fans kind of get lost, I feel, like, with this kind of like social media generation of a United fan, because that social media United fan is horrendous. Like, I hate to hear it. No way should anyone, and I heard people last night saying Greenwood's all right, but he can't really challenge the title with Greenwood outright. I'm sorry, you just said he was going for the Ballon d'Or last week. It's ridiculous. But it's just a shame, because I'd like to think the hardcore United fan that, goes week in, week out, and I'm not saying you have to go to games, but I'm just saying someone who really means something to them, it's been part of their family and, it's part of their lives for so long, that I'd like to think that they appreciate what they've done since lockdown, and that draw isn't going to harm things. Who do we want to see so what have we got here? We've got a Wolves fan, Liverpool fan, Arsenal fan, Spurs fan. Okay, so there's only one of us actually that this is meaningful for, because fair play Liverpool, you're home and hose. Obviously, you Arsenal, Spurs boys, it's not so great for you. But okay, so maybe you, Sean, and you, Graz, like who do you actually want to see make the top 4?
Want to see is a difficult question, because
Spurs could make it, but let's say that
mathematically Spurs. I don't think we're going to. If you'd have asked me before the restart, I'd have said that I would want to see Leicester, but I just don't think they've got it in them. More likely at the moment is potentially Man United hopping over Chelsea and Chelsea sneaking it.
But would you want that to happen?
Wolves definitely can. I wouldn't want that to happen, no.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care what's going to happen, because annoyingly United are probably going to get in there, and then Twitter will just be run amok with just loads of fickle United fans saying that Greenwood's going to get the Ballon d'Or again after they've just slagged him.
If we're talking purely what I want, right, because I think it'd be the most funny for the entire league, would be if somehow Chelsea and Man United slip up on either the last day, and Wolves and Leicester get ahead of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
I'd love Sheffield United to do it, just to see Sheffield in the Champions League.
Yeah, that'd be insane. Imagine a Champions League night that is Sheffield United versus Barcelona. Lionel Messi.
Can you imagine Bramall Lane?
I am all in on that idea.
Chris Basham just getting in Suarez's head. Yeah,
It's the dankest part of the week. Each one of our panelists has created a meme over on our Dream Team Instagram page, and you folks get to vote for your favorite. Right, let's bring on the memes. James Bond, love it.
Good, great reference.
I was actually watching this last week, so it was perfectly timed for me.
Is this GoldenEye?
No, it's the one after.
The second one. Is that Tomorrow Never Dies?
Tomorrow Never Dies.
And he's got the remote control car.
Yeah.
I thought this was yours, Graz.
No, what, this next one or the last one?
No, the James Bond one.
No, it's a great little clip.
We'll see you guys soon. Let's go on to the second one now.
So this is me.
Yeah.
In the other hand, dog.
Good clip, that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
there is a
dog clips over lockdown. Have you not felt like it's dog clips everywhere? Like everyone's suddenly got a dog.
It's because everyone's at home.
Yeah.
I like this.
It's like revving up, really building.
It's great.
And nothing.
Great. I like it.
Nice. It works.
Yeah,
it works perfectly.
And the winner is going to be revealed at the end of the show. So,
such a tease.
No point trying to beat the traffic. Just stick around. It's the FA Cup semi-finals this weekend, as Arsenal face Man City on Saturday and Chelsea face Man United on Sunday. As the reigning champions, Man City will be keen to hold on to the cup, but regardless of the results, I'm sure their lawyers can turn it around for them. Andy, earlier in the year, actually when football came back, you said the clubs shouldn't be that bothered about winning the FA Cup or shouldn't be proud of it. Do you still feel that way?
Do you know what? I can't even remember saying that.
That sounds like something you'd say, though.
Yeah, definitely says.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're like, oh no, if they celebrate winning that, that is sad. I think that was the gist of it.
Yeah, I mean, look, someone of like City's. Well, it's how big you judge your club, I suppose, and I suppose all four of those teams would judge their club to be Champions League / Premier League contenders. I don't think that Arsenal fans appreciate the FA Cup because they will turn their noses at it. If you said to them at the start of the season, you'll get an FA Cup, and they'll be like, I don't want FA Cup, sack that off. And it's like, so you don't deserve it then. And I think most fans would say that, in terms of they love a trophy, but they think they're better than that. They think their club deserves to be winning Premier Leagues. Whereas, let's say Wolves win it. I keep bringing it back to them, but I am a Wolves fan, so I can use that.
They won't this year, though.
You're a Wolves fan?
No, I know we won't win it this year. But if we win it, that is some of the best silverware we'll have ever won. Well, in my lifetime in particular. Well, it would have been the best trophy we've ever won. So it means something to us. It's not just something that's a bit of a throwaway. Like at the end of the season, if Chelsea have only won the FA Cup, their fans would be like, wasn't really a great season. I think that's an absolute outrage because FA Cup is a brilliant trophy.
There is still some intrigue left in this, though, based on who wins. And it brings us back to our sort of top four and European conversation again. Because Arsenal, potentially, now they've got to get past City, it's quite a big ask. But if Arsenal do go on to win the FA Cup and finish outside of the Europa League places, they could still take that Europa League place from someone in the league, which, by cruel circumstances, could potentially be Spurs.
Oh.
Now, surely an Arsenal fan would suddenly start to think they want to win the FA Cup again if the possibility was there to ruin Spurs' season by keeping them out of Europe.
Yeah.
Even if they finish below them. I think that would be something they'd want, surely.
That would be lovely.
That would be amazing.
Keeping Spurs out of Europe. That would be a trophy in itself.
You think Man City are not asked about it? I reckon they
No, they
would
are.
be. I think they.
Like it's like what I'm trying to say is that they don't appreciate it. Is what I'm saying. It's
You mean
like
their fans wouldn't appreciate it rather than the club itself?
I don't think even the club itself are going to be like. I don't think they're going to be throwing like street parties when they win the FA Cup. City, they're just so ruthless, and Pep's so ruthless. They just want more silverware. He wants to retire when he's 60 and go, I won 75 trophies at Man United. I am a legend.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just meaningless silverware at that level, you know?
I mean, when's the last time a club outside of the top six won the FA Cup?
Wasn't it Wigan? Was it Wigan?
Wigan, up the ticks.
Well, this is the point.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, this episode should be called Status Quo because, again, the status quo are always going to have the chance of getting the titles because they have the bigger squads. So Man City can literally rest Aguero and play Jesus. Wolves, we rest Jimenez and we've got to play a lad out of the reserves. You know, Chelsea's second string 11 would still finish top 10. United's second string 11 probably would be in the Championship, so that's probably a little bit of an outlier.
And the meme results. Okay, in third place with 336 points is Jack Townsend.
Oh, Jack.
Right. Well, in second place with 410 points is Andy Taylor.
Oh,
Graz has entered the competition.
Yeah,
I think I have
with 812 points.
Well,
Marshall
had enough time to do a video this week. That's the
fair play.
Now, you know what? Last week I could accept it because Jack's was top draw, but I don't think yours was that far better than mine, Graz. If I'm quite honest with you.
Well, I'm sorry. The audience think different, I guess.
Yeah, but what do they know?
You hear that? Do you hear that, audience?
For when you win, though, Andy. Right. Then
when they choose me, they are some of the most engaged,
intelligent,
switched on audiences that there are. Yeah.
Now it's time for Weekender, a weekly game where you pick 7 players, goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 2 strikers to be in your team, with real cash prizes up for grabs every week. You can sign up to play over on our website or app. Just make sure you do it before the weekend's fixtures. Our panelists have picked their Weekender teams already as they compete against each other to avoid the dreaded mystery forfeit at the season's end. Right, who's up first?
Okay, so I've learned from my mistakes last time. Man City, it's a FA Cup game, so I've gone for Bravo in goal.
Yeah.
Smart.
because I'm just looking at that weekend and I'm thinking everyone else looks like they might leak some goals at the back. This is where this might be unravelled. I don't know. I don't got Willian in there, so I'm a very confused team. It's just hard when there's not many people to pick from. Yeah, it's really hard.
You don't sound particularly confident about it, I'll be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I've lost the last 2-3 weeks, so what have I got to feel confident about? I'm essentially Norwich.
Graz, do you want to talk us through your team?
Yeah, I am back in Burnley. Like Jack, I do think Norwich have looked bad the last few weeks. I know sometimes you get teams that are like, oh no, I've got nothing to play for, or you can just sort of play for fun, but they looked absolutely gutted after it was sort of confirmed they were going down. Potentially, I've got carried away with the Spurs thing here. Alderweireld scored a header in the Arsenal game, and I absolutely went mad for it, so I've put him in at the back. And I've gone with De Bruyne because I just think it's been a while since we saw a De Bruyne like full-on masterclass game. I feel like we're due like one where he absolutely pulls the strings, maybe scores an absolute 30-yard screamer as well.
He's knocking on the door of that, isn't he?
Yeah,
with those free kicks.
Well, yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, you can't ignore Fernandes at the moment. Like, Man United are a much better team with him.
All right, and then finally, Andy's team.
I mean, similar thinking to Graz, really. De Bruyne, yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I just think semi-final, like big stage, he's gonna do something. And Pope, he's going for that. What do they call it? Is it the Golden Glove or whatever they call it in the Premier League? Golden Glove, I think. He was actually top draw last weekend as well. Really,
against Liverpool, it was insane.
Absolutely, Pope versus Liverpool, basically.
So yeah, I just think like Burnley, like sneaky. They're just sneaky this year, aren't they? They're just going under the radar. Ings, Stanislas. I mean, yeah, it writes itself, I think, boys.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling very confident, to be honest.
I don't know. No, we'll see. You'll never know. Because, right, on to the results from last week, which, if you'll remember, we made you repick your team last minute, which went down a storm with the lads, I have to say.
What I should have done was remembered what I picked and seen if I got loads more points or loads less points.
Well,
I meant to do that.
I've worked it out, so we will.
No.
Really?
Yeah. I kept it. So we'll find out soon. But let's find out what the teams you actually picked, or the teams we made you pick in the end. So first up is Andy.
Oh, Mikel Antonio.
That was some pick.
So is that was this his re-pick or his?
That was his re-pick.
Yeah, I've got to say, I was very smug because I was having a little walk on. I don't know where were we? I can't think where I even was now. We're having a little perambulation around a little reservoir.
Oh, I'm calling that. I'm calling that. That is unbelievable.
What,
perambulation.
That's part of my vocabulary.
Is it, Sean? Is it?
That is the mystery word.
Yeah.
Little perambulation.
Little perambulation.
Hey, look, we all do that from where I'm from, I tell you. Perambulation in Wolves, I tell you.
Is that what it even means? I don't even know what
Yeah, he's got it in right, but it just stuck out like a sore thumb.
Is it just because it's me and I'm saying it in my...
I don't know. I think it was partly that, but also partly because you looked a little bit like, I don't know, as you were saying it.
And a little lean into the camera, didn't he? And a little lean.
Here we go.
A little walk.
There's no way that's not getting called at the end.
Well, I thought, Andy, we were joking about this yesterday. I thought you were going to sneak it in as the name of a footballer, perambulation.
Yeah, but then there would have been all sorts of controversy again, wouldn't there? We all know I throw straight darts and I've thrown the straightest of darts there.
Yeah, you have, but it's not paid off. But fair play for respecting the game, I think.
All right, next up, Graham's team.
It's not great, is it? I'll be honest with you. Although it is made to look a lot worse by Andy's team.
I mean, he had a strong week. Who let you down? Schmeichel, yeah, he had a shocker.
Big time let me down.
Okay, and finally, Jack's team. I'm
scared. There's a 12 in there.
It is. Well, yeah, but Yeah, but that's about it.
Oh, okay. I had to do a very quick scan around because I didn't have the points on it.
It's because there are numbers in there, but it's the minuses in front of the. I'll be interested to know what my real pick
Wow.
scored.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're about to find out.
So, I worked it out last night. Okay, so your real teams.
Yeah.
Andy, you would have gotten 22 points.
Oh.
Jack, you would have gotten 22 points.
No.
Graz, you would have gotten 58 points.
What did I have? Did I have Sterling?
Sterling got 28 points. We would have had a
You
deadlock.
had to have had a tie break though, so it wouldn't necessarily be a guaranteed one.
Jack, considering you're in the office, we had the idea to have just a quick forfeit, considering the drawers are right behind you. If you can put together the most embarrassing outfit available to you.
Oh, okay.
Wear what you're wearing, mate.
I'll turn away. I'm ready.
All right, he's got.
Yeah.
Okay. The big reveal, Jack.
What's he wearing?
Oh God, how embarrassing, Jack!
Oh, I can't even look at it.
No one forced you to put that on either. That's a bit weird.
I can't even look at it.
Oh, that's the worst thing we have in those drawers.
I know.
We were talking about these peripheral football fans earlier. Could I see a true Scouser wearing that? I don't know.
Well, he said it had to be embarrassing. It is a forfeit.
Right. Well, that is all from us, folks. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Dream Team Coach TV. In the meantime, until next week, download the app, fix up your dream teams, and sort out your weekenders. But until then, have a great week.
See you later.
I'm off for a perambulation. See you later.
Enjoy your going goodbye perambulation.